Medical fetish site donates entire stock of scrubs after being contacted by desperate health officials. When we, a tiny company set up to serve a small section of the kink community, find ourselves being sought out as a last resort supplier to our National Health Service in a time of crisis, something is seriously wrong. In fact, it's scandalous. LMAO the ending. Honestly, shout-outs to the health official for thinking of a medical fetish site for this stuff. Really thinking outside of the box in a clutch moment. Nurse, why does the back of your pants say Ho Hospital? Hey. I'm the guy who purchased Corpse Delu XXXE69 last month and was wondering if you guys had any scrubs to donate. We could really use your help. Thanks. Having tear-away scrubs would probably be pretty handy for the decontamination process, too. Fetish pornographers are truly the backbone of society. Great story. I guess I'll just rewatch some classics. How nice of this company. I do hope, however, that the situation does not get to the point where doctors have to resort to full kink latex suits for their work. First, I had no idea medical fetish sites existed. Second, I had no idea medical fetish sites had clean medical supplies. It added, so when it's all over, let's not forget, or forgive, the ones who sent the NHS into this battle with one hand tied behind its back. No, that's a different kink. Wait, doctor, you seem familiar. If it's stupid, but works, it isn't stupid. MedFet UK said a decade of underfunding and cuts to the NHS has left it barely able to cope under normal circumstances, much less when faced with the onslaught of a global pandemic. It makes you wonder if the NHS was actually funded to fight this. It would have made their lives easier. Yeah, my wife had her Grey's Anatomy McDreamy phase some 10 years ago, so I bought some scrubs for a costume party back then. The after party was rewarding. I donated the scrubs when she moved on from the series. Her next phase was The Outlander, but I'm yet to buy a kilt. Pornhub showing more ethics than YouTube, and now this? Is this a correlation or causation? President Camacho approves. Imagine the staff meeting where someone had to explain to their colleagues which website they were talking about, laughing. I just had to order my nurse friend's safety goggles and disposable car seat covers for some of her team from Amazon. She's a district nurse in the UK, which means they go into people's houses to look after them. Normally the very elderly with serious health conditions. They've got limited supplies of masks, so they can only use them for patients who have just got out of hospital or confirmed COVID cases. They are not being supplied with safety goggles despite patients coughing on them. They've been told they aren't allowed to carry any passengers in their cars and that their cars will be considered to be a health hazard for months after the worst is over. She has to strip to her undies in her porch when she gets home and boil wash her clothes. She's not allowed to dry them outside. They have to be tumble dried or hung up indoors. They should have shoe covers, but there aren't any, so she has to wipe her shoes with antibacterial wipes when she gets home. She's allocated time with patients based on need. 15 minutes for a dressing change or to give insulin. Each appointment is taking her double that as she's reassuring patients about the pandemic. She knows some of them won't survive if they catch it, and she will lose patients she's come to care greatly about. She's got asthma, but if she stops working, she won't be paid. Her partner is a self-employed London taxi driver and there's no work for him. I had a long chat with her earlier and the least I could do was to send her some PPE. She's putting her life at risk to help other people whilst I work from home in relative safety. She's an absolute legend with the biggest heart, and I just want to wrap her up and keep her safe until this is over. Next up, all the sexy nurse and surgeon Halloween costumes. Government officials were hard-pressed, you say. They don't have dirty little virus written on these ones like I have on mine. Nice one, guys. Good news. Who knows where we can get any of these? Please. Anyone? I may know of a place. I'll be back in a bit. If this headline doesn't sum up the current state of Western civilization, I don't know what does. Guy who found it probably said I was just Googling medical scrubs, and this came up. Yeah, yeah, that's how he found it. R/brand new sentence. When you're so desperate you're willing to tell all of your co-workers about the fetish sites you visit because you think it might be useful information. That's a Rule 34 I should have expected after watching Grey's Anatomy, but I'm still surprised. Next, nurses' uniforms. A good idea, but perhaps if the Tories actually funded the NHS we wouldn't have this problem. This is when we finally understand conservative austerity economics must be replaced by Keynesianism too. Now all we need is to contact teacher-student fetish sites so they'll donate comprehensive syllabi, a livable wage, competent management, and tutoring programs. I wonder what else the kink community's been holding out on us. Pornhub saving the oceans, the naked philanthropist saving Australia, and now this medical kink site saving the world from a pandemic, the real MVPs. But also scary that governments aren't doing this in the first place. You like that corona, baby? Oh yeah, give it to me, push those spikes neurons into my body. Gotta wonder what type of masks these sites have and if they would actually be useful for stopping a virus. So now the government is coming for our full-body rubber suits. It's come to this after all. Pornhub Premium is free. I love my industry smiling face with hearts. This is a great idea. To take this even further, I would inquire about some masks. If I get this shit and my doctor comes in wearing leathers and a G-string, I'm just gonna go ahead and pull my own plug. Patient: thank you, Doc Johnson. Doctor: it's actually Dr. Smith. Why is desperate in quotation marks? A lot of hospitals are out of PPE. This probably just amplifies whoever's fetish this is. Hey Jim, we need scrubs, any ideas? Closes tab on computer / I might have one. Let me make a call. I regret searching medical fetish on Google. I didn't know what it was. I was innocent. #FAP for our carers. I heard of feet, horses, BDSM, and a lot of other stuff, but medical fetishes. Wow. I am glad that company has a good heart. Hello, nurse. What a time to be alive. Honestly, Fashion Nova sells scrubs. Hospitals should ask them to. This is the world we live in, where porn shops are more useful than the government. I was a nurse for 15 years. I think I found my new side hustle. Hello, I am your nurse and it's time for your urinary catheterization. This is just fucking awesome. Sometimes I just love our strange ass world. So I guess if you see a nurse wearing crotchless scrubs you'll know where they came from. Too cute. Really? They didn't have any masks? Any gloves? I highly doubt they had no gloves. Scrubs are the one thing not in short supply right now. I just ordered a new lab coat and the site was offering 50% off all its scrubs. God forbid the government helps out. The only one that may like the current status are those with medical fetish, as they can do it in public. /s and also not. If there's spudge on it I'm gonna lose it. Okay, the pleather scrubs and latex gloves up to the shoulder are going to be off-putting. And now I want to introduce some medicine fetish items to my wife for some after-hour delight. Some kinky fuck is gonna save many medical staff with their big assortment of fetish-related medical gear. God bless America. The real heroes. I was waiting for something like this to happen. The fetish community has a plethora of unused stock. I don't want to come off as ignorant, especially during times like these, but how hard is it to mass manufacture more masks? Are they not pretty much paper-based? Paper factories, or whichever other factories able to produce them, why can't/won't they buckle down and pump a bunch out?